Hey guys, so we just wrapped up week 4, and we started that by driving over the Mackinac Bridge, which was pretty nerve-wracking at first, but after we went over it, we realized that it wasn't so bad.
All right guys, here we are. I'm not exactly sure what harbor we're in, but we are very close to the Mackinac Bridge. So you can see right there back in the background, that's the Mackinac Bridge. It's about 5 miles long. It's a suspension bridge that we're going to cross over, and that connects the Lower Peninsula of Michigan to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So we are excited to keep moving forward, and we are getting ready to cross. We'll talk to you soon. Right, here we are at Munising Tourist Park in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and we are doing some s'mores. So Ashley is with Evelyn, roasting some marshmallows.
This is the first time she's ever done s'mores or seen a campfire, so this is exciting, and she really likes the graham crackers, so I guess that's a win.
Well, while we wait on our marshmallows, this is Lake Superior right here. And it is very cold. I believe it was 50 degrees today in the water. And so that is Grand Island in the background. And we're enjoying ourselves. We have a lakefront spot right here, and it's been really nice.
The UP was amazing, and we went up to Munising, and we stayed at Munising Tourist Park Campground.
Yep.
And we booked it pretty last minute, and we wound up with the best spot in the whole campground. People were coming up to us asking us how we got that spot.
Yeah.
And we were right on Lake Superior, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, we just had people walking up saying, like, how many months in advance did you have to book this spot? And we were like, we booked it last minute, and we just happened to get the best spot. So it was amazing.
Yeah, I said, we have a baby, and I really want to, that's our biggest requirement when we stay somewhere, is that we really want a quiet campground that's family friendly. And so far, we haven't had any issues with campgrounds being too noisy, especially this one. This one was great. It was super quiet, and everyone was very friendly, but we were right on Lake Superior, and it was great because Evelyn goes to bed early, so we very rarely see a sunset. And we got to just sit out and watch the sunset over Lake Superior, and it set until...
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So the sunset, I guess it's this time of year in the summer, and we're so far north, that the sunset around 10 p.m., and then it would come back up around 4 or 5 a.m.
But it never really got dark. And
it never really got dark. You could always see
glowed.
Sunlight coming across the horizon.
It was really, really pretty. And then the next day, the first day that we were there, I surprised Brad, and I rented a pontoon boat for us. And Evelyn's been really into boats and seeing boats, so I thought it would be a really fun family thing. And we got about 10 minutes out on Lake Superior. We were headed over to see the pictured rocks and the cliffs. And about 10 minutes out, there was a small craft advisory. And I had heard some thunder rolling in the distance, and the clouds were starting to get really black. And we're on a huge lake. Like, it's like the ocean, because and weather patterns can change.
And we're in this little
quickly.
pontoon boat.
And we're in this little pontoon
so,
boat. It was pretty scary. And so Brad's like, oh, wait, just a minute. Let me get the drone out.
Yeah, well, the Coast Guard came over the radio, and then the whole time we were on the boat, I was just waiting for my chance to use the drone, and so we had some other boats come by and wave us back in. They were like, "You need to come back in."
And I was panicking.
And
but he just wanted one more minute.
I decided we had a solid 5-10 minutes to fly the drone.
And he did, and we didn't even get good footage because it was so dark, but it was fine. So then the next day we ended up going on a, what was it? It was like a Pictured Rocks cruise.
It was like a more touristy kind of cruise where we went down to a harbor, but it was really nice.
And then we went along the Pictured Rocks, and we got to sit on the upper deck, and it was really, really pretty, and it was very stress-free. Evelyn could play on the ground, and we brought her a ton of snacks, and I don't even think she looked at the rocks once. She just had so much fun.
She was not interested in the rocks.
To go on a Pictured Rock cruise. We figured that this would be the best way for us to be able to see Pictured Rocks. Oh, she's saying ding dong. The church bells were just ringing because it's first thing in the morning here, and we decided that the cruise would be the best way to see the Pictured Rocks because the trails are a little, they're close to the edge of the cliffs, and so with a toddler, I thought it would be a little dangerous, so I hope that we enjoy it. Say bye.
Bye, girl.
One of the days we ended up hiking to Miners Falls in the Pictured Rocks National Lake Shore, and it's a really great family-friendly flat terrain hike that you can do, and it leads to a gorgeous waterfall, and it was a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I think the trail itself was labeled as 0.6 miles, which seemed about right. Yeah, it was a really flat hike for the most part, and then there was this nice like platform that you could look at. Look over at Miners Falls, and
there were
was
huge
really nice.
trees, and it was super quiet. It was kind of eerie, but it was a really, really pretty hike, and Evelyn pretty much hiked the whole thing by herself and had a blast, so it wore her out.
Yeah, and it's a nice drive out from Munising, so yeah, you can kind of enjoy these backcountry roads through what, it's just...
The UP, it's just nature.
We are going to Miner Falls, and we are in where?
Montague. No, where are we? I don't even remember anymore. We're up in the UP by Pictured Rocks.
All right, Evelyn's gonna film some.
Evelyn, go. We ended up just hanging out on the campground one day and just enjoying the beautiful beach, but the
Yeah.
water in Lake Superior was very cold.
It was in the high 40s, low 50s the whole time. It was lucky to get to 50. So the beach was really nice, but Evelyn wanted to get in the water the whole time, so we just had to keep her out. We let her stick her feet in for a little while, and that was about
so
it.
cold, yeah.
But she enjoyed just throwing rocks in the water and playing with, sticks in the sand, and she had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, and the lake was so serene and just crystal clear and just flat. And so it was really like a great place to skip rocks or Brad test his drone. There were no waves. It was just beautiful water.
Yeah.
And there are some shipwrecks on Lake Superior, so if you're into that, and tons of kayaking. And I wish that we had a kayak, or I wish that we had time to kayak.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to test it with Evelyn.
Yeah, we haven't kayaked much, so starting kayaking with a 20-month-old.
On 40 to 50 degree water.
And we don't know how she's going to react, so yeah, not a good time to start.
It wasn't a good time to start, so we're going to try it when we get somewhere.
Maybe in California somewhere.
Yeah, that sounds better. And then, let's see, we ended up driving from the UP, and we planned on going to a harvest host and stopping in northern Wisconsin on our way to visit family.
We were going to stop in the Green Bay area,
Mm-hmm.
hoping that we could get a Lambeau-filled, Green Bay Packers Lambeau-filled tour. And we could, but it turned out they're doing some renovations on the field itself, so we can't go down to the field. So we decided to skip out on Green Bay, so we weren't as excited about staying at the Harvest Host.
Yeah, and Evelyn fell asleep in the car, so we're just like, let's just keep going.
Yeah,
and
Evelyn never sleeps in the car.
Never sleeps in the car. So she slept in the car, and I was just like, just keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we only had 2 more hours left, and we made it to visit our family, my dad, 1 day early, which when you're traveling, I don't think that you ever get anywhere early. So we were thrilled to be there a day early, and we really needed that time to be able to, we had a ton of repairs that we just wanted to do and like kind of just fix up the camper some for our needs.
And we're finishing up week 4 at this point, so a month on the road, we're kind of getting used to things, and we knew some things we wanted to change.
Yeah, like our
so it gave us
kitchen
some time
nook
to
and
do
stuff.
that.
Yeah, so we were able to do that.
Hey guys, so we are in East Troy and we're about to ride on the trolley. Hi! Yay! We're gonna ride it to the Elegant Farmer. Are you excited? Hi! Hi, are you excited? Yeah!
One promise that I made to my dad especially is that we would always be in Wisconsin for the 4th of July because he loves the 4th of July, and the parade comes right down his street on Main Street in East
really
Troy.
Cool.
And it's so patriotic, and it's the best parade. It's like an hour long nonstop, and it's beautiful. They have bands.
And people in East Troy, everybody goes nuts for the parade. They line the streets with chairs a couple of days in advance.
Yeah.
Everybody's renting out bounce houses.
My dad did for Evelyn.
Throwing these huge block parties for everybody, and it really is just an experience. It's, I grew up in Georgia, and at least in our town in Carrollton, it wasn't like that. So it really is an experience to go see sort of a small town celebrate.